They're typical old school MPEG files, and you dump them on your hard drive as a VOB. And VOBs have, as you can see, let me open it back up. Actually, no, here, I know extra sneak previews will not have extra audio tracks and subtitles. So let me just grab something real quick that does. All right, open with VLC, Control J. There we go. See all this shit? You got more than one stream. Look, you got video stream. You got audio stream 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got 4 audio streams in this file. That's why DVDs are so goddamn big. When you rip them, when you're done with this file, it's probably the smallest DVD I've ever seen is 2 gigs. Typically, DVDs are 3.5 to 5.5 gigabytes. Typically, 3.5 to 5.5 gigs. If it's 3.5, that means it probably does not have extra audio tracks. If it's 5.5, it probably means it has English and French audio. And I've, like I said, I've seen them go up to 7.5. They're huge because they contain all that extra shit that you don't need. And they use an old, lossy codec format, which is why once you transcode to X264 and AAC format, you will have better than DVD quality at fraction of the size because you're not including all the extra shit, like extra audio tracks, which are about up to 200 megabytes a piece, depending on the audio. Actually, that was just MP3. I don't know. Raw AC3 might even be 500 fucking megabytes. I don't know. So, that's how that works. Alright, now you know how to dump it. Now check it out. That was to dump a typical file. Now watch this. I'm going to show you how to dump the file if that file were a Archos protected file, meaning corrupted CRCs. Right here, the command is almost exactly the same, except you're going to change one little thing right here where it says DVD : //1. You're going to change it to say DVD nav, NAV, for DVD navigation. Follow the DVD's navigation information for Title 1, Feature 1, and dump that stream. Alright, another thing you need to include is a flag called no. So you'll do dash no cache, CACHE. Alright, no cache means do not cache information. That means you're dumping the raw stream. You're not dumping cached information that could be wrong, like old menus or old DVD information or some shit. I don't know. I'm not that damn good to exactly know what gets cached when you play a DVD. So anyway, it'll be mplayer space DVD nav, NAV, : //1, or whatever title number your feature presentation is, then space dash no cache, CACHE, all one word, no cache, space dash dump stream, space dash dump file, and then the path to your dump file you want to dump it at. That will dump any Archos protected DVD into the just like a normal DVD. Remember, no cache and DVD nav are not necessary if it's not an Archos protected DVD. It's not necessary at all. But again, remember, Sony DVDs are about the only DVDs I've ever seen that are Archos protected. Alright, that's how you rip a DVD file. Now, after you got the DVD file, you can try transcoding it or fucking with it with AVID Mux. Remember, unless you're a pro with AVID Mux's GUI, don't mess with it. Use mencoder. It's all command line, and it's a pain in the ass to learn, but guess what? When you get the hang of it, you'll be a goddamn pro. With AVID Mux, there's options for the same filters. The same filters you're going to use to detail us in and de-interlace and all that other shit and to keep a constant frame rate. The same filters you're going to use to do all that with mencoder, which is a part of mplayer. AVID Mux has all those same filters, but it's got weird options for those filters I've never even seen. Even the options I need I can't find half the time. And so you've got to be a goddamn guru to do it with AVID Mux. Plus, with mencoder, you can see all the output as it's doing it. I don't know. I prefer to do it from the command line. But that's like most Linux users. Once you know how to do something from the command line, you always prefer to do it from the command line. That's just the way things work. Alright. I think I'm going to conclude this video. So you've learned how to figure out what videos are made of, what videos are contained of. You learned how to recognize DVD content and interlaced, telesyn, and progressive. Actually, you haven't learned how to recognize it, but you will. I'm going to show you one quick thing real quick. We're going to go in player, and then we're just space, and we're just going to drop this file over here, and then dash benchmark, BENCHMARK, and I show you how to do this in video number 3 of this series. I show you how to do this exact same thing, but I'm going to do it again right now while all this video information is fresh in your mind, because in video 3 you're transcoding shit, so you might have forgotten, you know, some of the details about interlaced and telesyn content. Alright, benchmark space dash no sound, all one word, space dash VO for video out, space null, meaning don't even show the video. Alright, so you should have in player, space the path to the movie, space dash benchmark, space dash no sound, space dash VO, space null. No dash, just null. Alright, hit enter and check it out. Bench. Oh, I can't spell. I'm fucking dyslexic or something. Alright. Now you're gonna see all this shit right here? Of course you don't, because by the time you watch this video, it's a lot smaller than it is when I'm recording it. I'll show you. I'll try to remember to copy pieces of this text so that you can see it on the internet, on my website. But right here, it's playing the DVD. These numbers going by are what second in the DVD, what second it's at in the at that very moment in the DVD VOB file. All right, check it out. Anytime it first starts to play video content from a DVD, from a VOB, it always says this right here, 29.970 frames per second. I actually thought it was 29.976, but in this case it's 970. It always says that. You will almost never see it not say that for a VOB file. Ignore that. 29, that's 30 frames per second interlaced content made for television. It's always going to start out like that. Then when you get down here, you'll see this little thing that says demux underscore MPG. That's the demuxer that's playing the file. That's information it's spitting out. And it'll say 2400 or 24,000/1001. That's a ratio. That is 23.976 frames per second, or 24 frames per second, or 24,000/1001 ratio frames per second, which we just call it film. Film content, progressive content, or 24 frames per second content. Anyway, it'll say demux underscore MPG, 24 frames per second, progressive NTSC content detected, switching frame rate. That's a progressive movie all the way through. It never said anything else after that. It never said switching frame rate again. Now, when you get another movie, for example, off the top of my head, I remember The Exorcist, the beginning, the second Exorcist movie. It's interlaced, or telesyn. Almost all DVDs are telesyn. It's rare to find one that's progressive all the way through. Anyway, it'll say demux MPG, progressive 24 frames per second, progressive content detected, switching frame rate. Then it'll play for so many seconds, and it'll spit out another demux MPG message, and it'll say demux MPG 29.97 or what was it, 30/1001. In other words, 30 frames per second. Telesyn content detect, or actually it won't even say telesyn. It'll just say 30 frames per second, or 30,000/1001 ratio. Demux MPG, 30 frames per second content detected, switching frame rate. Or actually, it might even say 29.97. Anyway, it's going to be close to 30. Anyway, it'll say 30 frames per second content detected, switching frame rate. That's how you know it's telesyn, because it switched the frame rate, which means that it's telesyn. And then likely, if you see that even once, you're almost guaranteed to see it again. It usually will not, if it's telesyn content, it usually switches about 4 or 5, and I've seen it even switch up to 80 times back and forth between progressive and 29 frames per second content. 24 frames progressive, and then 29 frames content, which is telesyn. Now, that's how you can tell if it's telesyn. If it's telesyn, it switches back and forth. Remember that. Don't forget that. If it's progressive, if the whole video content is progressive, it does not switch. You see one message telling you it's progressive content detected, and that's it. You do